One of the principal reasons that misandry is so prevalent is that men are their own worst enemy. Men are too quick to believe the worst of other men, and this is strongly encouraged by society. In this way, men attack themselves, never realising that they're doing the devil's work for her.
It's not an accident, is it?
Nah, suicide. I wonder who he was.
Barry Sipes. Paedophile. We radioed in the licence number.
Pedo?
Technically.
How do you know?
Same way everybody else does. Not really. They didn't print the full story. In 1984, he had consensual sex with a 15-and-a-half-year-old. He was 18. Nowadays, you wouldn't blink.
And why did he...
Must have known everybody had jumped to the same conclusion as you.
Good work, Andy. Very neat.
Men cannot be defeated by any kind of direct attack, but getting men to turn on each other is a successful method to enable their oppression. Men are expected to behave in very specific ways in order to be accepted as manly.
Deal with it. Be a man.
Be a man.
Mr. Thornton, go down this instant and face him like a man.
Show your daughter you can be a man and do something right for a change.
Stop crying. You just became a man, now act like one.
Women have no expectations or requirements to be accepted as womanly, but I think that they should. Men can't get in touch with their feminine side because men don't have one. Men's caring, gentle and nurturing side is their caring, gentle and nurturing side. It's only the arrogance of women that claims those attributes as feminine. Men can't so much as accidentally touch each other without fear of being labelled gay.
You could maybe be my second at on the road.
What do you mean? You want me to drive with you or what?
No.
Oh. Hey.
Well, listen, I'll pick you up at 3, huh?
Yeah.
Like in India, grown-ass men hold hands with other men and walk down the street like everything's okay. And to them, there's nothing gay about it. Here's the thing. There's nothing gay to them. To them, I'm holding my friend's hand. What's gay about that? See, you grow up over here, there is no acceptable time for two straight men to ever touch hands. Ever. You ever walk to the mall with one of your guy friends and your hand accidentally bumps it? You're like, hey, what the fuck is wrong with him? Get off me!
This doesn't come from within men, and no other animal behaves like this. It comes from a society that forces men away from each other using homophobia, and forces a dependency on women for validation of manhood. That's why it's hard for many men to simply answer no when asked if he's going out with a woman. There's pressure from our society to explain himself. He'll tend to say, not at the moment, or I'm between women. If he just says no, he might be considered gay.
I love Brad Pitt.
Me too, but in a totally non-gay way.
No, I mean, we bust your balls about being gay because you hang out with a lot of fags and you work out with them and you go dancing and, quite frankly, look at your shirt.
I mean, I don't believe this. You are going to turn down a pussy like this? Staring you smack in your face? No man can turn down this pussy.
You stop saying it.
What's the matter with you? You don't like women?
It's wrong, and ironically, highly emasculating to define manhood in relation to women. Women seem to understand this about their sexuality, but men are yet to explore this to the same extent.
And also, you can remember that no man, not Derek, not Mark, defines who you are.
For example, with impotence, this is only ever portrayed as a problem for men in relation to women, instead of an issue related to himself.
Karen and I had are having a few problems in bed.
Really? What kind of problems?
I don't seem to be able to satisfy her. I can't perform.
What? Really? You're impotent?
Manhood has nothing to do with women, and doesn't need the approval of women, nor any reference to women.
The reason we're getting very messed up nowadays in terms of gender identity and where we're going, and especially men find it very difficult to know what a man is or what a man should do, is because in letting go of the roles that define our jobs, we've also let go of the roles that define our identity. And if you don't have anything to define your identity, you're going to be lost. That's the basic truth of the matter. So what do you attach your identity to? Usually it's your job, and it kind of goes around, it's a feedback loop. It's your job that defines your identity, which defines what job you get. But that's all up in the air now. We can do whatever job we want. If you want to be a nurse, you can be a nurse. So where do you attach your identity to? Where do you get your identity from? Where does a man get his identity from? My thinking here is that we have to reinvent roles for ourselves. We can't do without roles, because that's what shapes us. We need to know who we are and what we are. So we need to redefine what it means to be a man, as distinct from what it means to be a woman. I don't like the term new man, because new man just seems to be defined by what women want in men. And what women say they want in men is very different from what they find attractive in men. So you can't cater your identity to what the opposite gender wants. That's absurd. You've got to find what makes you happy, what gives you strength, completely independent from the opposite sex. In the same way that women have defined what they want and who they are, completely distinct from what men have wanted them to be. And we need to now redefine roles that define what it means to be a man. And that's what we're working on. That's what we're working on here. That's an ongoing struggle for me.
Men on the whole feel unhappy unless they have a female partner. I don't believe the same is true with women. Women, yes, like to have a male partner, but by and large they get on very well together. They tend to, their friendships, it seems to be the case that female friendships cater for their emotional needs. Male friendships tend not to touch the emotional needs. Men tend to be involved in, when they're talking, when they're interacting, with something that is outside of themselves, like a game of football, darts, whatever. It isn't the same with women. Women are not as dependent on men emotionally as vice versa, is my belief.
Men are very fearful of women, even in relationships. Men are far more dependent on women, believe it or not, than women are on men. Possibly because a small boy is at his mother's mercy for very many years of his life.
Who do you think is emotionally stronger?
Women are definitely emotionally stronger. There's even been studies, digital psychology, showing that after a breakup, well, they study divorces, but say a breakup, that women get over it on average in a matter of months, about 3 months. Men take about 3 years.
2 to 3 hours.
No, I think,
it looks like that.
Again, I'm coming from experience,
months.
and it would seem as though women would get over it.
They get over it a lot faster than men do, which is a total lie. The whole lie to the idea that men are kind of completely insensitive and we don't care.
Stone cold, Steve Austin type.
We're not. Absolutely, we have feelings. Do you know what I mean?
In fact, it's the opposite. Women are the stone cold ones.
So why is it we think that women are so sensitive and vulnerable emotionally, and it's actually
because
men,
they're mothers.
Probably?
They're our mothers. We're not talking about women. We're talking about our mothers. That's what we do when we talk kind of all this stuff about kind of the sensitivity of women and the goodness and the innocence. We're talking about our mums. We're plainly not talking about our girlfriends.
What do you mean by we're talking about our mums? What's your
We're
point?
talking about our experience of women from the experience of our mothers. So
we're not looking
in
at
terms
it,
of caring, in terms of we're looking at it from the point of view of a little child being cared for by this perfect mother, and that's our idea of women. That's when we talk about women. That's what we talk about.
Well, I don't.
But then you go beyond that, and you go beyond that. And you start talking about the women in terms of the women that we've known, and they turn out to be stone cold. They're over in and out. Jesus.
So how come your mother's the complete opposite to that then?
I don't know, because you are a son.
So basically, you feel you owe them your life, and so that's it. You pretty much. There's nothing they can do wrong.
Well, they're the ones caring for you, and you're only a child at that point.
I think my mother's the only woman that hasn't hurt me, actually. Well, she physically beat me, but you know that's
well, same here.
Yeah, but that's okay.
That's cultural.
Men are conditioned to rely on women for emotional support and intimacy, and that to seek it from other men or offer it shows weakness.
Wear a mask and not talk about the feelings, particular men. It's not a very macho thing to talk about their feelings, as you know, they don't want to be classed as a wimp, or if they go down the pub, it's football and cars, but they don't generally go and talk about how they're feeling to their mates.
Sex is often presented as if a woman is doing a man a favour by doing it with him, and he should be grateful for her kindness.
I know you did it because you thought I was a dead man. So don't beat yourself up.
Thank you.
What for?
For this wonderful gift.
Women typically don't like it if men are too close to other men.
One of the biggest differences between men and women, men are actually happy when women go out with their girlfriends and have a good time. When you go out with your girlfriends and have a good time, we're fucking happy for you. You come home and go, me and my girlfriends are gonna go see Sex in the City. We're like, great! Now I don't have to take you to see that shit. But it don't work the other way around. Women never want us to have a good time. Ever, 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 ever. Fellas, if your woman come home from work and you got a smile on your face that she didn't put there, she gets suspicious. The fuck you smiling about? I ain't fucking in 3 weeks. What the fuck you smiling about?
Women also don't like male-only clubs and societies, and have successfully invaded all areas of life where men might go to be away from women.
For Mr. John Steed, I'm Dr. Peel.
I'm afraid that's impossible. You are female.
As you see.
Then you can't come in. No women, not in Boodles, not since 1762.
Really? Please, don't get up.
Congratulations, you've entered a bastion of male privilege.
Women see such things as a threat to their power over men. Men are simply not allowed to exclude women. In contrast, women demand their women-only swim sessions and women-only gyms. You should ask yourself why. Why would women seek to take legal action to gain entry to a male-only club? Why do they care? The answer to that question is that it's not about what women want. It's about what they don't want. Women don't want men to have any respite from female influence.